All right, another week that just flew on by, and we're less than a week away now from Thanksgiving Day, which means we got to start thinking about what we're going to do for Thanksgiving and the forecast for Thanksgiving as well. That's going to be coming up here in just a few minutes. We've got 80s coming back to the forecast. Again, not the decade, but in terms of temperatures, we've got 80s coming back, and then sudden stratospheric warming, right? You hear that all over social media. They're saying that there's going to be this big blast of cold air from the polar vortex, right? That's not going to happen necessarily, but it is going to be getting cold after Thanksgiving. So we'll take a look at all of that right now, though. Friday morning, 11:22. It's actually we've got something to watch on the satellite and radar. No advisories right now, but we are seeing some cloud cover in the low country, but mostly in the upstate and then through North Carolina. There's even some showers. You can't see it; it's behind the banner, but there are some showers around Stanley and Union counties in North Carolina, around Albemarle. That's going to push off to the east, and most of us in South Carolina are going to be remaining dry. Southeast North Carolina does have a slight chance of a shower later on today, but most of us are going to be remaining dry with temperatures only in the 60s by 9 o'clock, so we should only end up in the low 60s to upper 50s tonight under calm conditions with the winds at about 2 to 6 miles per hour. Again, everybody tonight is going to be at 61 degrees except for Aiken and Orangeburg around 59. Now tomorrow, here's where the 80s come back. We're looking at 80 for Columbia, everybody else around the mid to upper 70s, 71 for Charleston, 70 in Myrtle Beach, and 69 for Hilton Head. Now you might see some of these light streaks show up in the coloring on the map. This is where we could be having some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms move through the state later tomorrow afternoon, and that could help to cool down temperatures a little bit, but rain chances right now are less than 30%, so we're not including it in the 7-day forecast. Next big thing is Thanksgiving rain. Not so much for Thanksgiving Day, but more or less Travel Wednesday, which if you don't know is the day before Thanksgiving, and then going into Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, it looks like rain chances should begin to diminish. But here's how it's looking for Thanksgiving Day. Rain, I told you on Monday it was going to be rainy for us here in the Carolinas. Now it's looking like that's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, and that rain is going to be pushed offshore. Now, if you're going to go to Maine or anywhere in Canada, that's where we could be seeing some rain and maybe even snow showers up in New York and all around New England. It's going to be cold in the central and in the west with temperatures for highs in the 20s for Minneapolis and 30s for Denver and other places like Kansas City. But everybody is going to be rain and precipitation free for the most part, at least in the central and in the south, where there is expected to be partly to mostly sunny skies on Thanksgiving Day. For us here in the Carolinas, we are looking at temperatures in the 60s, and that should be a common theme for many locations in the south. So 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon, how about it? And then 71 on Sunday and 70 on Monday. So we're looking at sunny skies after our slight rain chance on Saturday. Low temperatures are actually going to drop going into Monday morning. Some of us are going to be in the 40s, but then look at this. Going into Tuesday and Wednesday, here comes our next rain chance. And this is going to be Travel Wednesday, so many of you that are traveling out of the state, or hey, maybe even into the state, could be seeing some rain showers. Again, not going to be anything in the terms of severe weather or thunderstorms, but there is going to be that rain chance out and about, so just keep an eye on that. And then Thanksgiving Day itself, Thursday, we're actually looking at 72 degrees under mostly sunny skies, and then look what happens afterwards. Friday, boom, the temperatures go down. We're looking at 56 Friday afternoon, and morning temperatures next Saturday, like 8 days from now, could be in the 30s. I'm standing in front of it. You can't see it. The highs in the 50s for Friday afternoon of next week, and then Saturday morning of next week, we're back into the 30s. So there comes some colder air. Temperatures that are much more like the end of November, what you would expect here for this time of the year. We're having temperatures and weather that we would expect in the middle of September rather than November. Going into December now, it looks like temperatures are actually going to start getting much colder, and so snow chances we're unsure of. We can only really tell the weather 7 to 10 days out. But that's the way it's looking for now. So anyways, we'll be back again Monday, probably, right? Monday. And after then, we'll be gone for Thanksgiving. So hey, that's all for now. And then come back next week for your last update for Thanksgiving weather.